What up, everyone? Thank you for coming back to my channel. As usual, I do appreciate it. So, a little different topic for today's video. I am a big UFC fan. I watch it every Saturday. The Apex cards, those are the regular fights that are not championship fights. The pay-per-views, I watch people's commentary on it. Watch a few of the big YouTubers that talk a lot about UFC and MMA in general. Anyway, Belal Muhammad, remember the name, is the welterweight champion. And I want to talk about this from a motivational standpoint, from an inspirational standpoint. Okay, I'm not gonna say I remember exactly when Belal Muhammad got into the UFC, but I do remember seeing some early fights of his in the UFC a couple years ago. And I actually remember when he fought Leon Edwards the first time, when he got eye poked and he looked as if he was losing the fight at that point. But we know that MMA, if you watch MMA, UFC, you know that a fighter can be losing the fight all the way up until the last few seconds and come back and win, i.e. Leon Edwards, who just lost the belt to Belal Muhammad. He got that head kick over Usman, which I am still salty about, because, side note, Leon Edwards should have never been the champ to begin with. That was a lucky fucking head kick. I don't give a fuck what no one says. He got lucky, but as fate would have it, Leon Edwards became the champ. Kamaru was not the same in their third fight. Everyone agrees with that. And he could not take the belt back. Colby Covington he didn't fight like he was supposed to when he fought Leon Edwards. Although he didn't deserve the title shot to begin with. But anyway, last night, Belal Muhammad. Belal, remember the name. And I always thought that it was so funny. Not so funny, but it was a little comical that was his little name for himself. Remember the name. Because I used to watch his fights and I'm like, this guy is not going to be the welterweight champ. No way. I mean, we had Usman, we had Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington. They were kind of hovering around the top at that time. Also, Gilbert Burns. You know, those guys, they all were reigning at the time. And so, yeah, it was kind of like, all right, well, Belal, he will make it, I guess, at some point to maybe like a top 10 contender. But I never, and I don't think anyone other than maybe his family and friends really saw him as a future champion of the welterweight division. And not gonna get too much into the UFC politics side of it, but just looking at that from the perspective of life. Never give up, ladies and gentlemen. Never ever give up. It does not matter what circumstances. Well, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, because certain circumstances are insurmountable, but you get what I'm saying. On average, the normal things that we run into, the setbacks, the hurdles, the things that we feel like are going to break us in the moment, when we look back on them, we saw how we dealt with the situation, we overcame, and it made us a better, stronger person. That is the message here. Belal Muhammad is the UFC welterweight champ. It's kind of hard to believe that I'm actually saying that, when Kamaru Usman is still a fighter. Now, I know he is on the back end of his prime, but it just seems like if you work hard enough, if you don't give up, if you just put one foot in front of the other day in and day out, you just never know what doors may open up for you, what path may begin to lay its way for you, so that you run into your Leon Edwards, where you can smoke him and become the best that you have ever been, even if it's just for a moment. I don't believe Belal is going to reign as a welterweight champ, but he's got it for now. And I'm sure all of us, if nothing else, we just want our 15 minutes. The 15 minutes doesn't have to last for 15 days or 15 months or 15 years. Can I just have my 15 minutes? And Belal is an example of, if you just put one foot in front of the other, if you don't quit, if you believe in yourself, no matter what, you can potentially become what it is that you want to become. You can get where you want to get. You can achieve what you want to achieve. I'm very proud of Belal for that. I'm not gonna lie. As a fan, I'm not a fan of him being the champ, but I am still inspired by the fact that he made it, that he accomplished his dream, he accomplished his goal when so many people would have. I mean, if you would have told people this 4 years ago, they would have laughed. No way is Belal gonna be the champ. But he believed. And now look at him. He's a champ. He earned it. You cannot take that from him. And that's motivation for me, as well as for everyone that hears this. No matter what you find yourself up against, no matter how beat down you feel about your life, being a convicted felon, not having any work experience worth anything. I mean, in the sense of professional skills and experience that can really make you some good money and land you in some good places. It may seem like you're at the bottom and you're stuck there and you won't ever get out of that situation. You can't climb out because the system is set up against you. People are working against you. Your family, your coworkers, your bosses, your friends, the relationships, your own struggles, your own vices, your own mind, your own weaknesses, your own procrastination. All of that can be stacked against you. And still, if you just believe, if you just wake up one day and say, you know what, today is the day. And even if you screw up that day, then you get up tomorrow and you say, you know what, today is the day. And if you just tell yourself that every day until one day, it's gonna be the day that you shake all that shit off and decide, you know what, I'm gonna make this happen. I recently heard a story about the guy who started KFC, Colonel Sanders, in his 60s. In his 60s, he created KFC. A lot of people feel like in their 60s you're gonna be retiring, or you're just gonna be settled into whatever life you're doing, whether you're working as some kind of parking lot security or whatever you're doing. This man in his 60s, he still saw his vision. He still had his goal and he still pursued it and accomplished it. It's never too late. It's never too late until it's too late. And until it's too late, it's not too late. Big ups to Belal Muhammad. I just wanted to share that perspective. I'm inspired by that. And I'm going to do my best to try to use not only this, but everything in my life to motivate me. And I encourage you to do the same. As always, folks, thank you for coming back to my channel, listening to my video. I do appreciate it. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you made it all the way through, if you like this kind of content. I appreciate it as always. We got to stay safe so that we can stay free.